So this is the longer flow for you. We're going to start out with just a little bit of breath work and then we'll get right into it. So we're going to meet in pose at the back of your mat, taking a wide-legged child's pose, starting the knees to the sides, extending the arms out long, pressing the palms into the mat, and just coming into your breath here, freeing yourself of any judgments or expectations you may have set for yourself or your practice today. Allowing this to be the space that your body needs, allowing this to be an opportunity to spoil yourself. Let's take a deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale, audible breath. One more time, inhaling through the nose. Wait for the pause at the top of your inhale. Open the mouth, exhale, audible release. And closing the lips, beginning to find your ujjayi breath. Constricting the back of the throat. On each inhale, finding that pause. Closing the lips, exhale. As if you're trying to fog up a mirror with your lips closed. Finding that slight constriction in the back of your throat. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to begin to engage our child's pose here. So tuck your toes and draw your knees back in line with the mat. Extending the arms long, lifting the forearms up. Work on drawing your lower abdomen into the core. So your Uddiyana Bandha, this is an upward lifting block. This is where we begin to build heat and stability. You can work on your core throughout the entire practice by just engaging that lower abdomen. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, let's float up to a neutral tabletop position. So wrists underneath shoulders, knees in line with your hips. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, coming to your cow pose. Exhale, really rolling through the spine. Find your cat, pressing through the mat. Feel the shoulder blades separate. Inhale in the cow. And exhale in the cat. Feeling free to hold it in a position. If you feel any extra tension, just flowing with your own pace. Inhale, finding cow. Exhale in cat. Flowing one more time. Inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, beginning to tuck the toes. And press back into your first downward dog. So in downward dog, you want to work on opening up through the back of the thighs. We're going to shine the inner thighs towards the back of the room, leading with the tailbone. Palms are pressing firmly into the mat. Hands are shoulder width apart. Gaze is in between the space between your feet. Roll the shoulders back and down away from the ears. Engage that lower abdomen. We're going to draw the chest to the thighs. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, let's float the left leg up. Find your three-legged dog, keeping the hips squared off here. Exhale, opening up, bending that knee. Work on stacking your hips one on top of the other. Maybe rolling out the ankle here. Work on distributing weight equally between both hands. So that left shoulder is going to lift up. You want to work on drawing it down, square it off to the right. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, lower. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, floating the right leg up. Keeping those hips squared. And exhale, opening up, stacking those hips. Maybe rolling out the ankle. You could do some knee circles if it feels right. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, release. Inhale, floating up to the toes, finding a little bit of extra space, and exhale, lowering the heels down as far as they can go. Inhale, let's float, roll the spine all the way up through a high plank, and then leading with the tailbone, press back, downward dog. Flow one more time. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, bring your gaze to our hands and tiptoe to meet them, finding your forward fold. We're gonna separate the feet about hips width apart here and cross our arms, allow the thumbs to rest in the creases of your elbows. Finding your ragdoll, so allow your neck to hang loose, maybe bending one knee and then straightening the other. Feel that stretch all the way out through the hamstrings into the glutes. Inhale, exhale. Releasing your hands, draw the feet back in line. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, fingertips on the mat or grazing the shins. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, arms up overhead. Maybe taking a mini back bend here. And exhale, releasing hands through center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release the hands down, step back, find your high plank. Inhale. Exhale, pressing down through chaturanga, elbows grazing the side, release all the way down to the mat. Inhale into your cobra, lifting the chest up, shining it towards the front. Hands are pressing gently into the mat. You should feel this stretch in the lower back. It's a strengthening and lengthening pose. Inhale and exhale, release, press the palms down, push back, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, bringing your gaze to the hands and tiptoeing to meet them in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, arms up overhead. Maybe mini back bend, open up through the heart. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place the hands down, step back, high plank. Inhale. Exhale, elbows grazing the side, chaturanga, holding it here. Shoulders should not go past the elbows. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. This is a true vinyasa, so in cobra you want 4 main points of contact. Hands and tops of the feet, thighs are lifted, kneecaps are engaged. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. One more sun salutation, A. Inhale to the toes, gaze to the hands, and tiptoe meet them, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, reverse swan dive, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, step back, high plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come back to your breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhales, come up to the toes. One more time. Bring the gaze to the hands. Tiptoeing, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, lower. Now we're going to sink through the hips, bending at the knees. Inhale, rise, chair pose. We're going to work on stacking shoulders over hips here, allowing for the natural curve in your spine. Pinkies are drawing inward, engaging the triceps. Inhale. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place the hands down, step back, high plank. Hold it here, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, split that right leg up, three-legged dog. And sweep it all the way through, planting that foot down. We're gonna lower that left heel down. Inhale to rise, warrior one. So in warrior one, you wanna work on squaring off the shoulders towards the front of the room. This hip is gonna open up a little bit, that's okay. Maintain a solid foundation in that front leg. So you want knee over ankle, draw that right hip in line with your knee. It has a tendency to pop out. So draw it in, pressing out through that left edge of your foot. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down, step back, high plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, let's put that left leg up, three-legged. And exhale, sweep it through. Lower the back heel down. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Same foundation, that front leg. Draw that hip in line with your knee. Inhale. Exhale, settle, sink a little bit deeper. Engage in that bandha, draw that pelvis forward. Inhale. And exhale, hands down. Step back, high plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, let's put that right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, sweep it all the way through, finding warrior one more time. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, settle. Inhale. And exhale, we're gonna clasp our hands behind the lower back. Inhale, open up through the chest, lengthen the hands down your leg. And exhale, hinging forward, finding your humble warrior. So you can rest your torso on your thigh or the shoulder, maybe you fall all the way in, wherever is most comfortable for you. Wherever you are, I wanna encourage you to try to keep the palms together. Your shoulders may not lift up as much, but it's a much healthier pose. You can always play around with opening up here. Or if this is too much for you, you can always bring the hands down, maybe walking them through center and pressing into the floor. Inhale and exhale. All right, let's come back into center. Let's keep the right hand down. Inhale, lifting the left arm up. Maybe that's too much for you, and that's okay. I always prefer to keep my forearm on my thigh anyways. If you decide to take this variation with the pose, try to avoid sinking into the shoulder, okay? We want to press into it, engagement through the whole body, all the way out through the fingertips. This is your side angle. Gaze can be up or down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's lower that left arm down this time. We're going to come onto the toes of our back foot and open up for a revolved side angle here. Now, if this is too deep for you, I encourage you to use a block or even two, whatever side is best for you. And you can open up here. It just brings the floor a little bit closer to you so you can get the most out of your pose. Inhale and exhale. If you did decide to take a block, let's remove that block here, placing that left hand down on the floor. Roll onto the edge of the left foot and step back. We're gonna find our side plank. Now, if this is too much, you can always drop that foot down, make a little kickstand, but I encourage you, try to work the core, lift through the torso, pressing away from the floor here. Inhale and exhale, releasing those hands down, finding your high plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So let's put that left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, sweep it through. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, settle. Inhale. Exhale, let's bring hands to the lower back. Inhale, open up through the heart here. And exhale, hinging forward, finding your humble warrior. You can totally rest the torso right on the thigh. Bring the hands down if you need to. This is just a great way for you to stretch out the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Bringing the hands down to frame the foot. Keeping the left hand down, open up with the right, find your side angle. You can always come up onto that thigh, or you can grab a block if you want to keep it nearby. Rest your hand on that, whatever your body needs. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's lower that right hand down this time. Come onto the ball of the right foot. If you need your block for your revolve side angle, go ahead and grab it. Inhale, open up. Revolve side angle. Want to work on creating a straight line from this left hand all the way down to the right. Energy coming out all the way out through that back heel. Inhale and exhale. If you decided to use your block, taking it out of the way, place that right hand down and open up. Find your side plank. Variation of your choosing. You're always welcome to put the knee down, or if you're looking for a little bit more, you can work on lifting that top leg. Inhale and exhale. Let's release both hands down. Come to your high plank. Inhale and exhale. Downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's step that right leg forward, keeping the back heel lifted. You're gonna lower that knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale, lift it up, finding your low lunge. If you don't wanna put your arms overhead, you can always just press into the thigh. Just make sure to keep the torso lifted, drawing the pelvis down. Inhale and exhale. I wanna encourage you to grab your blocks and just to give yourself some extra height if you need it. And sometimes this can be hard on your knee, so if you have any knee issues, maybe just roll up your mat or find anything, an extra t-shirt, something to give you some extra cushion on that knee. We're gonna get a little bit of a quad stretch here. So reaching back for that foot if you can, and just pulling it forward. And the more you lean into that foot, you'll feel it all the way up through the hip flexors. All right, we're gonna find our half split now. So on your next inhale, straightening through that front leg, bending through the back one, keeping those front toes flexed. You wanna draw chin to toes, open up through the chest. Maintain a flat back here, so try to avoid this like curving over. I mean, if it feels good, you can do it, but what we're really working on here is the hamstring. So you want to draw that right hip back in line with the left, draw the left hip forward. You'll really feel that stretch intensify. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, you're gonna lift the arms all the way up. Rotate that left leg so that it's parallel with the edge of the mat, and lower the left hand down. We're gonna find gate pose, so it's essentially the modified plank. Inhale and exhale. Let's reach that arm overhead. Feel the nice side body stretch. You can bend through that left arm if you need a little bit more space. All right, inhale, lifting up. Exhale. Inhale, let's float all the way back up. Use that core and windmill the hands down and bring the feet back in line with one another. Tuck the toes. Let's press back, downward dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's float all the way forward. High plank, we're taking our vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows graze in the side. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna step that left leg forward this time. Drop the right knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, lifting up, finding your low lunge. Inhale and exhale. You can always bring the hands down if you choose to, or just keep them on your thigh if you'd like. Maybe you bring the blocks nearby. You can work on grabbing that back foot if you liked that quad stretch, being aware of your knee, not overextending it. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale, releasing that leg. And making sure that you acknowledge that both sides of our body are completely different. So we're gonna go into our half split again. And maybe you didn't need the blocks on the other side and you need it on this side, that's okay. Just make sure you honor your body's limitations. So inhale, really lengthen through the chest, draw that left hip back, right hip forward, flexing through the front toes. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Removing your blocks here, coming into our gate pose again. So swinging that right leg around, open up, find your gate pose. Maybe extending the arm up overhead, feel that side body stretch. And inhale, let's come back up. Bringing the hands down and step back, tucking the toes, press into your downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's sweep that right leg up, three-legged dog. And exhale, step it through. Keeping the back heel and knee lifted, you're gonna rise up, finding your crescent lunge. Now you can probably feel this in your hip flexor. I know that you have some issues with your hips, so this is a really good pose for you to try, especially if you bend that back knee. Work on tilting the pelvis forward. Inhale, rolling the chest back, arms up overhead. You can bend the knee as much as you need to and then work to straighten it, and the more you straighten it, the more you'll feel that stretch in your hip flexor. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. We're going to hinge forward, extending the arms long out overhead, rolling the shoulders back and down, engaging the core here, holding yourself up. Inhale and exhale. We're going to shift weight into that front leg. Inhale, stand all the way up. Hands can come to heart center if you choose. Inhale and exhale. Let's draw that knee into the chest. Face this way so that you can see. We're going to draw that left knee into the chest here and bend through the standing leg, crossing that right or left leg over the right. Now, this may be all you can do. If that's it, then stay here. Work on bending and seeing where you go. I know that for me, this side is a lot more intense than when I do it on the opposite leg, so just honor your differences. You can work on staying lifted here, or you can inhale and exhale, begin to hinge forward. The more you hinge, the more you'll feel it. This is a really good stretch for your hips. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's lift all the way back up. And this time you're going to step that lifted leg back about 3 feet or so. So we're going to come into our pyramid pose. You want your feet pointing towards the top of your mat, as close to it as you can. So if your left leg's in the back, you want it at about 11 o'clock. Arms lift up overhead, inhale, and exhale, beginning to hinge forward. You should all, I already start to feel it, so you should feel this right away. You might need your blocks here, because this is a very intense stretch for many people. So if you have a hard time finding your balance here, I recommend that you widen your stance a little bit. Now here you want to work on drawing that right hip back, left hip forward, still maintaining that flat back if you can. I always like to roll over sometimes. Sometimes it just is exactly what your back is asking for. If you want a little bit of a calf stretch, I recommend that you come onto the heel of that front foot and you'll just really feel that spike all the way up through the leg. Inhale and exhale. If you lifted that front foot, lowering it down. Inhale, let's lift the arms all the way up. Our back foot is going to come to the edge of your mat, parallel to it at least. Arms extend long. Inhale and exhale. You're going to hinge forward until you can't reach anymore. And then lowering that hand down. Maybe you grab a block, or if you don't even need to. You can just rest it on your leg. Wherever you decide to go, just make sure that you're not resting into that leg. You're holding yourself up with your core, tucking that right hip under the left, pulling the left hip back. Arms extend long. Gaze can be up at your fingertips in the ceiling or down at the floor. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's come all the way up, bringing both feet towards the side edge of your mat, keeping your feet slightly pigeon-toed or parallel if you have sciatica issues in your back. Whatever you do, just don't point them out towards the corners. You want them in, all right? So bring the hands to the hips, inhale, roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest, and exhale, beginning to hinge forward. Now, I'm gonna give you the option of your choice. You can cross your arms and come into a ragdoll here, shake the head yes and no, and just release everything, or you could bring the hands to the mat, work on pressing into the mat and pulling your chest closer towards the thighs, or you can bring your hands to the ankles. Maybe if you have the flexibility, you can reach your big toes, and if you can, tucking the thumbs into the palms, wrapping your pinky and ring finger around it, finding your little yoga hook, and then drawing yourself down. Now, if you took this hook, you want to roll the shoulders back, engaging the arms. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Releasing whatever grip you chose. Inhale, halfway lift, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Inhale, let's lift the arms up overhead. Maybe you want to shorten your stance a little bit here. We're going to come into a half malasana squat. So we're going to sink into that left leg, lowering down. Now, this may be as low as you go, and that's okay. Maybe you can manage to go all the way down and lift up that back foot. You don't have to. You can keep your hands here, keep the foot down, whatever you choose. Some people find it easier to keep the heel lifted on that bent leg. Inhale and exhale. We're going to walk the hands through center and come on over towards the other side. Find your half malasana. You can walk the hands out through center. You'll really feel that stretch intensify. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, walking them over towards the other side once more. And then over towards the right. And then release into a forward fold. On your next inhale, let's roll all the way up, arms overhead. And just begin to step to the top of the mat. Inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Place the hands down. Step back into a high plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, flip that left leg up this time, three-legged dog. And exhale, scoop it all the way through, finding your crescent lunge. Inhale, lifting up. Now we want to create that pelvis tilt here again, so bending through the back knee, feeling the pelvis and hips come in line with the shoulders. You'll really feel that stretch in that hand or the hip flexor. Inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. And exhale, settle. Inhale. And exhale, let's begin to hinge forward, finding that arrow lunge. So really pressing through the edge of that back foot, working on as if you're trying to separate the mat with your feet. Want to send your energy through the soles of your feet and just pull the mat apart. Inhale and exhale. Let's shift weight into that front foot. Inhale, lifting all the way up. And then we're going to draw that right knee into the chest this time. Begin to bend into that standing leg. Bend into that standing leg and cross that foot or the ankle over that thigh. Finding your balance here. This may be all you can do. It's totally fine. Maybe just bring your hands to heart center. Making sure that you have one focal point, or what we call a drishti. So where you want to settle your gaze, it will help you find your balance. If you want to bend forward, you can. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's lift all the way back up, bring the arms overhead and stepping that right foot back, coming into our pyramid pose once more. So right toes are facing about 1 o'clock if you can. Arms up overhead, inhale, exhale, let's begin to hinge forward. And releasing the hands to the mat, or blocks if you have them. Draw that left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale and exhale. Maybe lift the toes of that left foot and really feel that stretch all the way up through the leg. Inhale and exhale. Let's lower those toes down. We're going to lift all the way back up. Open up your stance a little bit. Back foot is parallel to the edge of the mat. Arms extended out long. Inhale and exhale, hinging over that left leg and releasing that hand down when you can't reach any further. Arm is lifted up towards the sky, or if that's hard on your shoulder, you can always just keep it on your hip or wrap it around your lower back. This is also a good place to open up the chest. Sometimes you even feel it a little bit in your obliques here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's lift all the way up. And I'm just going to turn this way so that you can see me. We're going to come to a wide-legged stance once more, but this time we are going to turn our toes out. We're going to come into our goddess pose. So in here, your feet are a little bit wider than hips width apart. We're going to bend through the knees, and I always like to place my hands on my thighs, and you can really see, I always like to place my hands on my thighs here and press into one thigh, let the shoulder fall, and then switch onto the other side. Just taking this at your own pace. Make it a little pop in your back in a good way, like a crack. All right. Now, keeping this depth in your hips, you're gonna lift the arms up overhead and exhale, find your cactus arms, really pulling the arms down. Feel that stretch all the way through the chest and the shoulders. Inhale, straighten through the legs, lift the arms up. Exhale, pull down, feel the shoulder blades draw together. Inhale, lift. Exhale, all the way down. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And let's lift all the way back up. You can bring the hands to the hips, rotate the feet towards the front. Just step to the top of your mat. So we're gonna find gorilla pose here. Feet are about hips width apart. Come into just like a forward fold. And we're going to slide the palms of our hands underneath the soles of your feet. Give your feet a little wiggle, massage out those wrists. And this may be, you bend your knees as much as you need to, rest your chest onto your thighs. You could be all the way down here, and that's totally fine. But go wherever you feel the stretch the most. Sometimes I like to really press my feet into my hands and tug up, and I'll feel that. I feel like each vertebrae in my back will open up a little bit. And then I'll pull down, feel it stretch more in my hamstrings. Inhale and exhale. Let's release those hands. So we're going to separate the feet a little bit wider than hips width apart this time. And we're going to come into a malasana squat. So you might want to grab your block nearby if you have one. We're going to lift the arms up overhead and exhale, sinking down. So you may need some extra height. You may need the highest block you can, and you can just kind of sit on it. But wherever you decide to go with it, press the elbows into the thighs. Feel them open up. Press the palms into the hands. Inhale and exhale. Wherever you decide to go, you want to make sure that the chest is lifted. Work on drawing the tailbone down, the chest up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. All right, so we're gonna come into a little bit of a core portion here. So just come onto your sit bones. We're gonna find Navasana boat pose. So finding your sit bones here, maybe just removing some of the flesh. Come onto a hover. Work on drawing the chest towards the thighs towards the chest. Arms can be extended out long or behind your thighs. You can work on straightening the legs if you have your arms out long. Inhale, exhale. So I'm gonna start out here. On our next inhale, we're gonna bring the palms together, tuck the chin, exhale, lower and hover. Work on reaching the fingers towards the toes, lifting the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, inhale, lifting up. You can keep your arms out. If you need to grab behind, that's fine. Just open up through the heart. Inhale, and exhale, bring the palms together, tuck the chin, exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, inhale, coming back up. Now you can do this as many times as you like. I typically do 5, but just for the sake of the video, I'm only gonna do 3. You can pause it and keep doing as many as you'd like though. So inhale, palms together, tuck the chin, exhale, lower and hover. Inhale, and exhale, release it all the way down. Draw the knees into the chest, rocking forward and back, do some knee circles. However you like to get there, we're just gonna roll forward and come onto our bellies. So just lower all the way down onto the mat. We're going to find locust pose. So what we're gonna do here, just like when we're in cobra, elbows are tucked in, palms are down on the mat. We're gonna inhale, just lift up through the chest, and then lift up the hands. I always like to take cactus arms here, so extend them out long and then pulling them back. Feel that extra lift. Inhale, and exhale. If you like here, you can prepare to lift up the feet as well. Maybe the hands come to the lower back, clasping them together. Open up through the chest, and inhale to bring those feet up. Find locust pose. And the more you lift, the more you'll feel it intensifying your lower back. Inhale, and exhale. One more breath. Inhale, and exhale. Lower all the way down. All right, and whenever you're ready, placing the palms into the mat, we're going to come into pigeon pose here, come into downward dog, and then we're gonna sweep that right leg forward, lower it down. You wanna bring the right foot towards the left palm and the right knee towards the right hand. Now, you may be up here. This may be very uncomfortable for you, and that's okay. So I want you to grab a block and place it under your hip. Okay, you can take whatever height you need. And wherever you decide to go, you're gonna work on staying lifted here, okay? Because a lot of times we believe that we need to have super flexible hips, but really when we have super flexible hips and no strength, we're so much more prone to injury. So we wanna work on staying lifted. So if you need to keep your hands down, that's okay. Maybe you can work on lifting them up. While we're lifted here, I want you to think about scissoring your thighs together, flexing through that front foot. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Releasing the hands down. And you can release your hands, just your forearms. You can bring a block to your forehead and just rest here if that's enough. Inhale, and exhale. So this pose, I recommend that you hold it longer than you think you need to. Typically, a yoga pose begins right when you want to come out of it. So that's when you'll get the most benefits. And the longer you stay in it, on your inhales, maybe give off a little bit. And on your exhale, send your breath to that space in your hip. Find some extra space to release from. All right. Inhale and exhale. I'm going to press into the palms. And just bring that right leg back up. Neutralize the hip here. So just take some knee circles. And then lower that foot down. Inhale, let's lift that left leg up and soothe it through. Let's find your pigeon pose on the opposite side. Staying lifted here. This is a perfect example of how different your body can be on opposite sides. So still flexing through that front foot. Inhale, lifting through the chest. Exhale, settle. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's release the hands forward. Maybe down onto the block. Remember, you can always put the block underneath your hip. I'll put it on this side as well so you can see what it looks like. Just put it right under your sit bones. Inhale. And exhale. All right, we're gonna press back into our three-legged dog one last time. Just take some circles with that knee. And then walking the hands forward. We're gonna come onto our sit bones here. So if you happen to get a strap, I recommend that you grab it now, bring it nearby. And the first thing that we're gonna do is a really good hamstring stretch. So unrolling your strap. If you don't have a strap, it's fine. I'll show you how to do it without it, but I recommend that you get one. You're gonna wrap the strap just around the ball of your foot, extend the right leg out long, and then straighten through that lifted leg. Now while you're here, you wanna work on trying to pull the leg closer towards you without, feeling this leg lift up. You don't wanna end up being like this. You want to keep your hips grounded and pull it back, only the leg itself, okay? You can point through the foot and then flex. See how that creates a different pose for you. All right. And then unwrapping your strap here. You're gonna bend through your knees, just plant your feet. We're gonna do that same figure four, but on the ground this time. So resting your left knee, or your left ankle over your right knee, and draw that right leg into the chest. So you're gonna thread that left hand through the space in between your legs and grab behind that thigh. A lot of people say to grab on top, but that puts a lot of pressure on your knees. So I always say, grab behind that thigh. Use your left elbow to press onto your left thigh. Flex through the left foot and the right, and draw that knee into chest. This is a really good glute stretch. All right, so you're just gonna hold this for however long you need to. So whenever you feel like you're ready or you're complete, you're gonna switch sides. You're gonna do the same thing. So wrapping the strap around the right leg, extend the left leg out long. Inhale and exhale. I recommend that you hold each pose for at least 5 breaths. I'm shortening it a little bit just for the video, but count 5 breaths, 5 full inhales and exhales, and then switch to the next pose. So we're gonna find that figure four again, bending that left knee, crossing the right ankle over the left thigh, and drawing the knee into chest. Thread the right hand through that little space in between your legs and grab behind your thigh. Press the right elbow into the right leg, flex through both feet, and draw that leg into the chest. All right. And whenever you feel complete, you finished your 5 breaths, just coming out of it slowly. And bringing your feet down onto the mat. We're going to find Supta Baddha Konasana. So you want to bring the palms or the soles of your feet together. Allow the knees to open up wide. The closer your heels are to your hips, the more intense this is on your hips. So if you're all the way up here and that's enough for you, that's fine. But wherever you feel the right amount of sensation is where you want to be. You can just bring the arms up overhead. Allowing the breath to slow and become more natural. Inhale and exhale. Let's bring the knees back together. Placing the feet firmly on the mat. You're just going to allow your knees to drop over towards one side. Extend the arms out long, palms facing up or down. And allow your gaze to fall over the opposite side. So if your knees fell towards the left, the gaze is over the right. You can allow your eyes to close here. Inhale. And exhale. Just coming on over. Allowing your knees to fall towards the opposite side. This is a very gentle twist here. And twists are really great for detoxifying the body. You can think of it as wringing yourself out like a wet piece of cloth, and as you're twisting, you're removing all the toxins, you're sending fresh blood to all your organs, so you can come out of the stretch rejuvenated.